Welcome, friends, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, coming in to the One Play Sports eSports Spectrum. It's a Super Sunday in the One Play Sports C Nations Cup. On the way is Malaysia against Vietnam. Hope you are all well and staying safe during these tough COVID-19 times. But for the next, 60 minutes or so, leave your troubles behind and join us on an international FIFA journey where only the strong will survive, as all our 8 nations bid to book a place in our One Play Sports C Nations Cup semi-finals. The man to my right, the myth, the legend, the godfather of gaming, the man of the E.
Ooh.
Did you like my E tonight?
I loved it.
The E!
Yeah.
Into esports. He is the doctor of style, an international expert in sign language, the notorious Nitin Nambiar. Nitin, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. I got to give you lots of credit, Patrick. The way you introduce me every week, it's something phenomenal, and I really appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
I'm touched. Oh, my heart's that side. I'm touched. You didn't know I had a heart, did you?
I didn't know.
I hope you're well and ready for what we're going to bring you over the course of the next hour. Let's remind you, if you're new to the One Play Sports Network, what the One Play Sports C Nations Cup is all about. $2,500 US in the prize pool. A bit of fun and games to get us through these tough times. The 8 nations are all competing in 2 groups of 4. We're with you every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, 11 p.m. Singapore time, GMT +8. And what do all the games have in common, Doctor of Style?
They're all live and exclusive on the One Play Sports Facebook and YouTube page. The best place to catch pro clubs action in Southeast Asia.
I could not have said it any better myself. Now let's check in with where we are currently in the competition. Tonight we focus on Group A, but there's plenty to report in Group A and Group B, as all 8 nations try and finish in the top 2 to make our semi-finals. Seems a long time ago, doesn't it, that we last saw Malaysia in action when they split victories with the Thais. Those 2 teams have been usurped at the top of Group A since then. Brunei coming good with a big result at the Mai Dinh Stadium against Vietnam. The Vietnamese will be hoping to win on their own patch tonight rather than what happened against Brunei after winning at the Hossan Bolkiah by 2-0. The other matches that we need to tell you about was Singapore demolished the Philippines in their Group B opener. They sit atop with a very healthy goal difference, but just behind them are the Indonesians, who, not as convincingly, but nonetheless, came away with 2 victories against Myanmar, who didn't look too shabby, it should be said. And Thailand not able to pick up maximum points against Brunei. They had to settle for a point at the Hossan Bolkiah. And that means that tonight's game in Group A is going to be very meaningful. Check in with Group B quickly. We'll be back with Group B on Wednesday night when Myanmar take on the Philippines. Currently Singapore and Indonesia, as you'd expect, being the 2 seeded teams, look good for qualification from Group B. But we focus tonight on Group A because it's incredibly tight-knitted, and I think it's almost a certainty that qualification from this group will go down to the final round of matches. But having said that, I would put the mortgage on the fact if either Thailand or Brunei fail to pick up a 6-point haul in their subsequent nights, they won't qualify. And that means if Vietnam and Malaysia, either of the teams can pick up 6 points tonight, I think they're almost through.
Yeah, definitely. I think Group A has panned out how we thought it would pan out. We called it the group of death once the draw was made, and it's been nothing but exciting. Every team has points, every team has got a win, and tonight's games are going to be also important in terms of figuring out who's going to finish top in as we go into the final round.
Very much so. And as always, we are fully interactive here, and boy, are we interactive tonight. More on that in a moment. We want to hear from you. Like, share, follow, comment. LSFC is the name of the game. We're building a community here. We're creating heroes as well. What does LSFC stand for, Nitin?
Like, share, follow, and comment. We're connecting communities and creating heroes here at One Play Sports, and we'd love your support.
Yeah, keep the comments coming. And another thing we like to do is, because we've had viewers from all over the world, Jamaica, England, Wales, Australia, all across Southeast Asia. Plant your country's flag in the comments section. Tell us where you are, and we'll give you a shout out live on the show. I must also remind you about something big that's continuing on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays, and we're back in One Play Pro Club territory this coming Tuesday with a Causeway clash.
Wow.
It is Maximus of Malaysia against Tiki Taka of Singapore on Tuesday the 19th of May, 11 p.m. Singapore time, GMT +8. So on Tuesday night, we've got a clash of cultures, a battle of 2 nations, Malaysia and Singapore. But what if we could have a battle between Malaysia and Singapore right now in the studio? Well, I'm going to amaze you by crossing live to Malaysia, because standing by in Kuala Lumpur is my colour commentator as a special guest for tonight, Mr. Ayman Roshizam. I think my magic tricks need a bit of work. There he is. Ayman, how are you, buddy? Great to have you with us here on One Play Sports.
Yeah, it's been a very, very good night, and I'm looking forward for 180 minutes of fantastic pro clubs football.
Now, just to give you a bit of background on Ayman, he is a professional shoutcaster. He's very used to calling top-class FIFA action, so he'll be joining me in the commentary box. We haven't forgotten about Nitin. He'll still be here with his expert analysis. And what we're going to try and do tonight, folks, is have a dual language commentary. So I'll be leading the play-by-play in English, and Ayman will come in with some great analysis in Bahasa. And that's obviously to cater to our friends in Malaysia who would like to listen to the action in their native tongue. It's a nice idea, Nitin. You will, of course, be back for Myanmar and the Philippines on Wednesday.
I'm fine. I'm happy to give Ayman an opportunity. He's a hard worker, and it's about time we brought in more talents from across the region.
And Ayman, you know, what's your commentary style? What can people expect? Because people know what to expect from me. I'm straight down the line. I'm honest, and I say it as it is. How about you?
Well, for me, hype and knowledge is the biggest thing, because I love to hype games, and I will always break down the games with perhaps the in-game mechanics and also the meta of things. And that has been my style since, I think, 2015.
Great stuff. We look forward to hearing from you throughout the course of our coverage. Now, let's get some shout-outs now. The Philippines are with us with Choji. We've got Amy with us in the Philippines as well. Shout out to Amy again, please, Nitin. She's blowing you a kiss on the comment section.
Amy.
We've got Jessa saying, go Maximus. Maxim, of course, in action. We've got Faiz with us in Malaysia. Gio Din is with us from Vietnam. Jasper Tan, a good old friend of the show, is there. Keep the comments coming. Shout-outs on the way. Now, I need your help for this next bit, please, if you don't mind, Ayman. Nitin knows the score. As part of our coverage here on the One Play Sports Nations Cup, we've got a treat for you, by the way, with tonight's national anthems. We want you to be part of the party. It doesn't matter if you're not a gamer, you can still be part of the show by singing your country's national anthem. Because, are you ready, Ayman? Your country needs you. Sing your anthem in landscape mode on the phone and email it to us, studio@oneplaysports.com, or you can WhatsApp your video to +65 9721 7756. And we have got a very special guest singing the Malaysian national anthem, Negaraku, for us in just a couple of moments' time. Let's get down to business, though. Ayman, I should come to you first, because tonight's big matchup sees your beloved Malaysia up against Vietnam. We had a great preview with you at 10 o'clock in the build-up to this game. What are you expecting from Malaysia tonight?
Well, I'm expecting maybe not from the first game of Malaysia, from the past game, maybe like the second game where they play high press, not giving the opposition any chance at all, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, Nitin, because we've seen the lineups, and I know you go through them in greater detail, but before you go through the individuals, the one key point here is we've been told Malaysia are going to make wholesale changes to the second leg, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Or the second match, I should say.
That's not something to worry about, because I believe the Malaysians have a very large talent pool to choose from, and we've got people like Elrock scheduled to play in the second game, and Elrock's a fantastic striker, so I don't think it'd be too much of a problem for them to switch players here and there.
Going to be interesting, because of course the second match is at the Maidin Stadium in Vietnam, and I know you've seen the lineups before. Nitin goes through them. Any interesting points for you at that starting 11? Have the Malaysians got it right in the 11 they've selected to start the action tonight?
Baik, untuk perlawanan pertama, saya kira mereka meletakkan kebanyakan pemain-pemain yang cukup taktikal sebenarnya, seperti Afif Puero dan lain-lain. Dan untuk perlawanan kedua, seperti yang Nitin katakan, dua striker, Elrock dan juga Afif D, kedua-duanya merupakan dua striker yang cukup fantastik. Mungkin akan mengubah perlawanan untuk kita jika perlawanan pertama tidak menjadi. Jadi saya merasakan bahawa kedua-dua pasukan ini mempunyai kualiti yang cukup untuk mendapatkan kesemua 6 mata.
Okay, interesting thoughts, Simon, but the main man to my right will now take you through the teams. Let's look at the starting lineups. In the first match tonight, played in Malaysia at the Bukit Jalil Stadium between the Malaysians and Vietnam, and a whole host of recognisable names. The Vietnamese side drew entirely from those four teams we know so well from the Pro Club Challenge, Nitin.
Yep, let's start with formations. The Malaysians are playing a 4-3-3 today. They've got a couple of players who weren't in that first 11 in the previous ties against Thailand. We got Shirohige, who's coming in at centre-back. Of course, the key players to watch out for the Malaysians are ex-Bucky. I like Afi Fuero. I like Shake as well. Those guys are full of quality. With regards to Vietnam, they're playing a 4-3-3 as well.
Nitin, before you go into Vietnam,
Yep.
I've had breaking news. Tournament director from VPG Virtual Pro Gaming, Youssef, and this is a huge blow for Vietnam.
Whoa.
Kun Pi, who's their main goal-scoring threat, has got network issues. He's replaced by Dong DK. So that is a blow straight out the gate for Vietnam. I think the formation stays the same, but there's no question they'll miss Kun Pi. Hopefully they can get him back for the second game.
Yeah, that's a big miss for Vietnam. Kung Pi leads the line very well, but again, they are a side with lots of quality. We've seen from the One Play Pro Club Challenge, players like Giao Din, Heisenberg, Matt Kalele, Mantuan. These guys are all players with lots of experience and lots of quality. So really looking forward to the game today. We're seeing two sides with lots of quality on show, and hopefully the game's entertain us.
Zul Khalid says Razmax is a key player. Would you agree with that?
I think anyone who starts right in international friendly is a key player. So all these 11 players deserve equal credit, in my opinion.
Faiz Rahman is with us. He's watching from Malaysia. Ahmed Hafiz Zulhaimi says, come on Malaysia. Keep the comments coming. Like, share, follow, comment. Now, out of respect, I should put my phone away and stop reading your comments for just one moment, because it is a special time now. It's time to, wherever you're watching all around the world, especially, of course, if you're in Malaysia or Vietnam, and including you, Ayman, to be upstanding for the national anthems. And first, we will cross live to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Singing Negaraku is a very special guest indeed. The first female to ever present an English Premier League game on Malaysian television, the wonderful Mitch 8 Lee. It's Michelle Lee with Negaraku. That was sensational. I think that's the best one yet. The Malaysian anthem sung brilliantly by Michelle Lee. Did you like that, Ayman? That was very impressive from Michelle. And I know, of course, she's a big star in Malaysia.
Ya, saya jadi emosional sedikit, lebih-lebih lagi mendengar lagu negara sendiri berkumandang sebelum perlawanan. Jadi, ya, kita harapkan yang terbaik untuk negara.
Okay, well, remain standing yourself, Ayman, Nitin and myself in the studio, and everyone watching at home, because it's now time to cross live to Hanoi. The Vietnamese national anthem, Chen Quang Ka, sung by Ha.
Quân Việt Nam đi chung lòng yêu quốc, bước chân dồn vang dân tộc người xa, đường đi mau chiến thắng hoàng hôn nước, xuống ngoài xa trên khu quân hành ca, đường đi vang xây xa quân thù thắng giặc lao nhau lập chiến khu, vì nhân dân chiến đấu không ngừng tiến xa xa.
That was wonderful stuff from Hart. I think that Michelle wins the battle of the anthem, and you've been bugging me. No, you can't have her phone number knitted.
Why not?
She's fantastic. She's your dream woman. She knows everything about football. She's a television presenter on football. She looks amazing. She's a wonderful person as well.
Three things. Beautiful woman, holding a PlayStation controller, showing pride in her country. She's got about 10,000 new followers now, I think.
I hope she has, at Mish8Lee, if you want to get involved with Michelle. Right, we need to let you go. I'm going to take your position in your virtual commentary box where you are about what? How many miles is it from here to KL? About 500, 600 or less?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, about that. So you go and sit on your position, but very quickly, prediction from you for the match tonight, Ayman.
Seperti yang saya katakan sebentar tadi, prediction saya 2 kemenangan untuk negara. So 6 points from 2 games.
Oh, big talk from the big boys of Malaysia. I bet they got something to say about that in Saigon and Hanoi. And Nitin Nambiar, the master of the predictions. What's your suggestion here as to what's going to transpire?
After looking at the lineups, I do believe Malaysia have the stronger team, but that's not discounting Vietnam. They've got lots of quality players. Giaudin is a player that I really admire, and I think this will be a game where Malaysia wins the home leg and Vietnam gets the home win as well. So 3 points each, in my opinion.
Ayman, we'll let you go now. You toddle off to the commentary box. We'll say goodbye to Ayman for now. And let's just give some shout-outs on the Facebook page before we get to the match. Are we ready to kick off, by the way, Yusuf? We are. So let me quickly mention some names. We've got Adlan Kasim with us. Scan Asiano is with us. Akmal's with us. Nang in Southeast Asia is watching from Singapore. Hao Nyong is watching from Vietnam. Gio Din is also with us. No surprise there. He's playing in the game. Mohammed Shukran is with us. Hai Nyong is with us. Jimmy Doi, good old Jimmy Doi is here. As is Abdul Ezar Ton. So many of you. Keep the comments coming. You can see from the scenes behind us, we're about to cross live to Bukit Jalil for the first game of the night. Nitin will be back in the break between the matches. But let's go live now to Bukit Jalil. It's time to say Selamat Datang to everyone in Malaysia and Sing Chao to everyone in Vietnam. And as we get stuck into this game, Ayman, it will be Malaysia in the yellow. Well, they're kicked off here, but I'm being told there's a connection issue, but the game appears to be going on. Bear with me one moment, Ayman. Now, I've got a feeling here. This is such a shame. I think we're going to have to restart here, Ayman. What's going on, Ayman? Tell everyone what you see here.
Nampak seperti beberapa pemain mengalami masalah untuk masuk ke dalam permainan. Jadi mereka akan keluar semula, masuk balik untuk mendapatkan sepenuhnya 11 lawan 11 pemain tersebut. Jadi harap bersabar kepada semua. Kita faham rakyat Malaysia ataupun fans Malaysia yang tengah tengok sekarang ni kesemuanya sudah pastinya ingin meraihkan kejayaan negara, tapi perlu untuk bertenang terlebih dahulu.
That's very frustrating, Nitin, isn't it? Because, I mean, we're having this happen. And it started to happen more and more as we've gone along with this One Play Sports Pro Club season. And again, the game looked to be going on. Who made the decision to pause and restart?
I saw what happened there. The Malaysians had, I think all their players were connected. But I saw the entire Vietnamese midfield. I think all the players had lost connection. So no choice from the Vietnam side. I completely understand why they did that. And we just have to be a bit more patient.
OK, well, Yusuf, can you give me an update? How long do you reckon we're ready to the restart? Just 1 minute, I'm being told. OK, Ayman, I'll say goodbye to you again. Let you get back to the commentary box ready for the restart. Nitin and I will come to you just again to elaborate on the significance of this big game tonight, because 6 points up for grabs. If Malaysia get them, 9 points in there, you think sitting pretty at the top of the table. How many points, and I am throwing this at you because we've not something we've prepared. How many points do you think is going to get you through? 9's not going to be enough, I don't think, is it?
I don't think so. I think you'll be looking at 11, 12 points at least to guarantee qualification. To top the group, maybe you're looking 13, 14.
And of course, the interesting thing from Malaysia's point of view, and by the way, there are no soft touches. We've seen that in their game so far. But Malaysia taking on Brunei last. Brunei, by that point, might be out. They still might be able to get through, by the way, with 6 points. We don't know that yet. But you'd rather be playing Brunei last than that last game in the group that Vietnam face against Thailand.
Yeah, definitely. You'd rather be playing Brunei. But having said that, we've seen Brunei improve game after game after game. So with them having 2 full rounds of fixtures under their belt, coming up against Malaysia, maybe fighting for some national pride, those games can be very tricky. As you see in the Premier League, towards the end of the season, the relegation teams usually start winning the bigger teams because there's a lot on the line, and we could see that with Brunei.
And if you're watching at home and you think, as we look like we're ready to go back live to the Bukit Jalil, if you think this is a bad omen for Vietnam, remember the connection problems the Thai gang were having yesterday in the One Play Pro Club Challenge before they demolished the shady shapeshifters off the park. And let's go full screen. I think we're almost ready to go pitch side once again to the Bukit Jalil. Ayman will be joining me on commentary very shortly. Here we go, folks. Good luck, everyone. It's Malaysia against Vietnam. So, where were we, Ivan? Let's start again. And there's a change of jerseys as well. I wonder if that's significant. The Malaysians have changed from yellow to blue, and the connection seems to be working fine. Malaysia in the blue playing from left to right, Vietnam in the red playing from right to left, and a bright start from Malaysia, Ivan.
Ya, terus saja dari sepak mula sudah pastinya Malaysia mahukan satu gol dari kick-off kerana kick-off boost is real sebenarnya dalam permainan FIFA.
I love the energy, Ivan, love it. Here's the cool guy. Vietnam for the first time, or very nearly, foraying into Malaysian territory, but they have to reset and go back as Roseblink, that rock-solid centre-back pairing. All at the back, you've got the likes of Roseblink, Magkalady, Nguyen Tran and Kakashi, all veterans of the One Play Pro Club Challenge who we know so well. Shout out to Nawawi, shout out to Sarawak Gaming Edition, shout out to Adlan, all with us on the Facebook page tonight. Nurul says, go Malaysia. All of you here. Turnahasi says, I love you, Tatsuki. Fan clubs of all of the nations watching us live tonight. There's a nice ball from Heisenberg, the central defensive midfielder, and the Vietnamese all of a sudden are in. Now, how far forward is Magkalady? Chance, and it's just wide by Doi. Nearly disaster for Malaysia early, Ayman.
Ya, satu hantaran yang cukup menarik sebenarnya, tandukan yang sebenarnya bukanlah cara terbaik untuk menjaringkan gol dalam FIFA 20, tetapi ini hampir saja menewaskan Izo sebentar tadi, Patrick.
Already, Ayman, this has got the makings of a really tight encounter. Lalasuki, he's got his fans. Shakir looking for Zuki again. Magkalady, he's a rock, isn't he? We've seen that in the Pro Club Challenge. Magkalady, a mainstay of the VM Brothers team. Here's Razhax, who's also got his fans out there watching on Facebook. Afi Fierro, we know the kind of damage he can do. Afi Fierro keeps it in brilliantly. Still Afi Fierro, he's beaten one, beaten two. Found support in Razhax. Razhax looking for the option. Vietnam closing down well, and eventually it's one pass too many, but the Malaysians looking good there for the first time, Ayman.
Ya, hampir saja Afi Fuero yang juga merupakan antara watak utama apabila Amigos menewaskan Vietnam Brothers dari Vietnam juga. Hampir saja membuka tirai jaringan untuk negara.
Aeon C bringing it away from Malaysia. This is being played at a decent pace as well. Luckily no lag, no problems that we feared we might encounter after Vietnam had to abort the first game rather quickly. Of course, I don't face a penalty for that. The cool guy tries to get it, but Hafiz heads it away, and the cool guy now will have to make do with a throw. Injury to ex-Bucky 10. And Ayman, just elaborate, this is something I talk to Nitin about all the time. In the parlance of FIFA Pro Club, the injuries don't really affect the players, do they?
Ya, walaupun pemain nampak seperti mengalami kecederaan, tetapi dalam 5 ke 10 minit selepas itu mereka nampak seperti baik, sudah pulih seperti sedia kala sebenarnya. Jadi nampak seperti tiada masalah.
Oh, good cross, onside and off the post from Doi. Apologies for coming in there, Ivan, but Doi should have scored, and Malaysia have dodged 2 bullets early. Looked to me that was going into the net, but the post saves Malaysia. Lalasuki right at the other end. You must have been your heart in your mouth there, Ivan.
Oh, hampir saja sebenarnya. Nampak seperti satu amaran besar daripada Vietnam untuk pasukan negara.
Asri is on Facebook. Asri Furmanako saying, is this the esports version of the Suzuki Cup? That is exactly what it is, Azil. There's no live sport in Southeast Asia, but we're bringing you the next best thing. As Vietnam are putting Malaysia under all kinds of pressure here at the Bukit Jalil as we pass the halfway mark in the first half. And I don't think you're a happy man if you're a Malaysian at this point, Ayman.
Ya, nampak seperti masalah besar sebenarnya kepada pasukan Malaysia. Tetapi ini adalah satu replay sebenarnya daripada perlawanan di Bukit Jalil pada 2018 di mana Vietnam sebenarnya melakukan high pressing yang cukup baik dan menyukarkan perjalanan negara di tempat sendiri sebenarnya.
Abdul Marie says, no matter what our differences, when we can't support Singapore, we will support Malaysia. That was a sentiment echoed by Nitin when we were talking in the build-up to this game. He's with Malaysia tonight. I'm going to go with Vietnam and say Sing Chao to all my friends in Ho Chi Minh. Lovely place, Vietnam, and they've dealt with COVID-19 quite brilliantly. I hope that continues, and of course we hope everyone, wherever you're watching in the world, is safe, and we're nearly at the end of this terrible COVID-19 situation. Here's Rybox, better from Malaysia. Ball comes through. How quick was Rose Blink? The Vietnamese looking really sharp in defence at the moment, Iman.
Ya, mereka cukup berdisiplin, mereka mengetahui bahaya pemain-pemain, lebih-lebih lagi front three Malaysia. Jadi oleh sebab itulah mereka berada dalam positioning yang cukup baik sebenarnya.
That was a an uncharacteristically bad pass from Afi Fierro, and the Vietnamese can come again. Don't forget, you'll get the half-time analysis in between the two matches and at full time from the notorious Nitin Nambiar. He's really is with us tonight, but we're experimenting with this dual language commentary to help our friends in Malaysia enjoy the coverage even more. We've got Ayman Roshizam, the excellent shoutcaster in KL, commentating there. That's the voice you're hearing in Bahasa. And that's headed away. Malaysia exerting some pressure. It is very tight, and I get the impression one goal may even be good enough to win this, Ayman. It doesn't look like it's going to be high scoring at this point, does it?
Ya, kerana kedua-dua pasukan bertahan dengan cukup cemerlang setakat 35 minit ini. Jadi menyukarkan lagi sebenarnya penyerang-penyerang untuk melakukan sesuatu, dan juga playmakers, midfielders perlu untuk step up, perlu untuk menambah lagi intensiti permainan sebenarnya, merancakkan lagi.
Azri Furman says Vietnam and defensive discipline. That's a combination I've seen before. Good shout, Azri. Abdul says Malaysia seems to have settled the initial nerves. Come on, Harry Malaya. Malaysia, you can do this, says Kafi-san. Imran Azizi is watching in Malaysia as well. Great to see so many of you enjoying this esports coverage on the One Play Sports Network. Don't forget to like the brand new One Play Sports esports page, as well as liking, sharing, following and commenting on all the action you're seeing. Here's Joy, promising and threatening from the Vietnamese. Nice layoff, Tomcat. And the Malaysians struggle to clear it eventually. It's an important header from the centre-back, but Heisenberg soaks it up. Malaysia have got to hold out for the next 4 virtual minutes. And that's a very good header away from Sher. But Vietnam look really threatening when they get into the final third. That's a good lead that's played in Gio Din. Another player we've seen excel in the Pro Club Challenge. Malaysia at the moment chasing shadows defensively. Vietnam so good. Makaleli on the turn. Very nearly fell to the man in the middle, Doi. And now, a bizarre passage of play. The keeper's furious. Izol in goal for Malaysia, absolutely furious. And the first corner of the game to Vietnam. And the keeper, Izol, has punched that back. And a bizarre passage of play there, Ayman.
Ya, Vietnam suka bermain dengan bola-bola tinggi dan ianya sering saja memberikan masalah kepada pemain-pemain negara. Kita menyaksikan dalam perlawanan sebelum ini sebenarnya untuk pasukan-pasukan dari Vietnam, mereka gemar untuk melakukan crossing dan hantaran-hantaran tinggi. Tapi Malaysia bertahan dengan baik walaupun nampak seperti ada keadaan kelam kabut sebenarnya.
Loftus Road in West London doubling up for Bukit Jalil tonight in a very, very tight and cagey first 45 minutes. A game reminiscent in many ways of the first and second matches Malaysia played against Thailand. It was always going to be tight at the top level. I'm just going to see if I can bring Nitin in for a couple of words quickly. Nitin, you're with me. That was tight, wasn't it? And discipline showed by both teams. For me, Vietnam just edging it.
It was tight, but I think Vietnam were the better side. They created 2 goal-scoring opportunities that they really should have finished. Malaysia really look at pieces at the moment. They don't look very cohesive, and they should be very happy that it's still 0-0 at half-time.
Look at those stats, Simon. I'm sure you can see those stats where you're watching. That tells the tale of just how close it was. But as Nitin alluded to, Ayman, the Malaysians need to find a way to threaten that Vietnamese goal, because we know how good the traitor kid is in goal for Vietnam, and they don't look like beating him at the moment, do they, Ayman?
Ya, Malaysia surprisingly sebenarnya agak mengejutkan. Mereka tidak mempunyai percubaan langsung dan ianya sama seperti apa yang saya katakan dalam pre-show, di mana Vietnam cukup cemerlang di bahagian pertahanan, dan apabila pertahanan itu sudah ditewaskan, adanya pula penjaga gol di belakang.
Brilliant analysis from both Nitin Nambiar and Ayman over there in our Kuala Lumpur studio. Second half, it's going to be Malaysia in the blue and white playing from right to left. Vietnam in the red playing from left to right. Shout-outs on the Facebook page. Isatari is there cheering on Malaysia. Camille wants to know where the rock killer is. Choji is with us, a friend of the show. Jasper Tan says hello to Nitin and myself. Jasper, good to have you with us again. As Malaysia come forward. Rashaks! What a save! Traitor Kid, he's at it again. He's some goalkeeper, this Vietnamese number 1, Ayman.
Ya, satu percubaan, itulah yang diperlukan sebenarnya untuk memberikan keyakinan kepada skuad negara.
And Trader Kid comes again. He is an absolute exceptional keeper. If you're just joining us, he wasn't initially in Trong Dang's Vietnamese team, but after a stunning performance for club, for the Brotherhood of VN, Nitin Nambiel had the campaign to get him selected, and it was a campaign that Nitin won as Shiro gets it away. This is better in the second half. Malaysia looking much brighter in this second 45 minutes so far, Iman.
Ya, mereka sudah pun menukar corak. Mereka tidak mahu untuk bertahan dan bertahan lagi. Dan seperti yang anda katakan, di tempat sendiri mereka memerlukan 3 mata itu.
But still, we await a goal. We have not had a goalless draw. I don't think, I'm trying to stretch my mind in the Pro Club. We certainly haven't had a goalless draw yet in the One Play Sports C Nations Cup. Mohammed Izan Shah is with us. Nawawi Abdul Hamid is with us as well. We've also got the Sarawak Game Edition boys. Everyone enjoying this game. Great to see so many of you with us. Of course, we're able to broadcast from Singapore thanks to our incredible relationship with Sports SG, Sports Singapore, who we are creating a whole strand of midweek programming for you, Monday to Friday, all through the day and night. Activities, exercise shows, cooking shows and magazine programs to keep you occupied, designed for a Singapore audience. But of course, we're happy to share that gift with the rest of the world. We've got First Light, which is a exercise show for seniors at 7 a.m, then Rise and Shine at 8 o'clock for those wanting a bit more exuberance in their morning workout. Kelly and Barbara, the Latimers, at 10 a.m. You've got to love the Latimers. And Duncan and John with their evening show Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the afternoon stretch, and Watch Your Cooking as well. So keep coming back to the One Play Sports Facebook page to find out what's going on during these COVID-19 times. Meanwhile, back to the action. And I definitely think if there is one goal, it's going to decide this game, Ayman. Don't you, Ayman?
Ya, kerana kedua-dua pasukan cukup sama kuat sebenarnya.
Look at that. Rose Blink had to be on his mark there. Somebody here, Kamil Jamluddin, is asking, where is Max Nevis? I'm told Max Nevis is one of many changes that Malaysia are making for the second game. Ayman, what can you tell us about the changes that Malaysia plan to make for the second match? And do you think they'll still make them if they fail to win here at Bukit Jalil?
Ya, sudah semestinya mereka akan melakukan pertukaran ini untuk menukar gaya permainan kerana kedua-dua pasukan ini mempunyai corak permainan yang cukup berbeza dengan formasi yang juga berbeza untuk pasukan Malaysia nanti.
And of course, remember, they're doing this at the moment, Vietnam, holding Malaysia shorn of one of their best players, Kun Pi, who had connection issues at the start. Here's Mad Kaleli, first time Vietnam have looked threatening in this second half, but strangely decides to go back instead of forwards. But they still come again, lots of space, chance for Nam. The cool guy couldn't get there, and is that a penalty? Is that a penalty? It is! 20 minutes to go, and Vietnam have a chance from the spot. Well, I'll get Iman's thoughts on the decision in a minute. It's going to be a Gio Din to step up. Gio Din against Dizzle. Vietnam, now the cool guy to take. And he slots it home, Iman. Disaster for Malaysia. What do you make of the penalty decision?
Satu kesilapan sebenarnya daripada penjaga gol Izol untuk pergi terlalu ke hadapan sebenarnya kerana tidak ada masalah dengan pemain-pemain pertahanan. Boleh saja menjadi cover sebenarnya untuk beliau dan melakukan satu terjahan yang tidak sepatutnya berlaku, dan 1-0 untuk Vietnam sekarang ini, Patrick.
Afi Fierro, the Malaysians trying to respond straight away. The thoughts of Nitin Nambiel on that penalty in between the two matches. Remember, straight after this, we go from Bukit Jalil to the Maidin Stadium in Vietnam for the second encounter of the night. But at the moment, Vietnam look to be on their way to the top of Group A. But so much can happen in not just the remaining 90 minutes plus 17 we've got virtually to bring you tonight. But I still fancy Malaysia pushing, can still have an equaliser. Can they find a way past the traitor kit? They certainly can't afford to concede again. Here's Dioy. Tomcat. Into the area it goes. Is that behind for a corner? I think it may be. Well, it's going to be a corner. What do you do now if you're the Malaysians? Because don't forget, this isn't a two-legged tie. It's a self-contained match. Do you start to throw caution to the wind and think we may as well lose 2-0 as 1-0? Ayman?
Ya, kerana ini bukanlah perlawanan aggregate ya. Jadi setiap mata itu cukup penting, tetapi perlu diingat goal difference juga cukup penting. Jadi sukar sebenarnya untuk menukar gaya permainan, tapi saya merasakan bahawa Malaysia perlu untuk menambah lagi pemain-pemain harapan mereka.
Yeah, that's a great point you make about the goal difference, Simon, because I think this group is so tight that it could come down to goal difference at the end. And goal difference is the first of the tiebreakers. Here's Rybox. Was he offside there? No, he wasn't. Razmax, play on, ball comes in. And Traitor Kid doesn't even have to get into action that time. We're down to the final 8.5 virtual minutes in this Group A encounter. Vietnam leading thanks to a Cruel Guy penalty after 70 minutes, conceded by the Malaysian goalkeeper Izzul. Shalini Tiang is with us. Isdin Zik is with us as well, as Doi tries to get it away, and the Vietnamese are exploiting some space. Malaysia starting to leave gaps on the pitch, Iman.
Ya, sudah semestinya mereka memerlukan gol untuk kembali dalam permainan, dan ramai pemain sudah semestinya naik ke atas untuk membantu serangan dan hanya meninggalkan ruang yang agak besar sebenarnya untuk Vietnam. Perlu untuk berhati-hati lebih-lebih lagi di bahagian sayap pemain-pemain Vietnam yang suka untuk melakukan antara-antara lintang yang berbahaya.
Still time for the Malaysians, just about, but they need to get the ball first, and Vietnam for now keeping possession quite brilliantly. That's a nice flick on from Mad Kalani, who's actually not playing at the back. He's switched to midfield. Here's Gio Din. Gio Din looking for options. Are they just trying to run the clock down now? I think they might be. That's gone badly wrong. Fierro is fouled. That could be a yellow card for Gio Din, is it? No, just a free kick. Is there any time left? Enough time for you for Malaysia to score here, Iman?
Anda sentiasa mempunyai satu lagi peluang. Itulah apa yang saya selalu percaya. Walaupun dengan 90 minit yang sudah pun berlalu, sudah pastinya ada masa selagi whistle belum ditamatkan. Tetapi mereka perlu mendapatkan bola terlebih dahulu.
Well, Iman thinks it's time for one more chance, but the question is it going to go to Malaysia or Vietnam? Just the 2 virtual minutes of added time, and an incredibly tight game is going to be decided by a rush of blood to the head by Izzul, the goalkeeper, it seems. And there is the full-time whistle, and Vietnam have a priceless 3 points away from home. They'll go back to My Din, having smashed and grabbed the 3-point haul from the Bukit Jalil. And Nitin is back alongside me in the studio. We'll have Iman in the studio with us as well. And Nitin, first things first, your thoughts on that penalty conceded by Izzul. Was it foolish goalkeeping, or did he have to commit himself there?
It was a stonewall penalty. He had to come out and try and stop the attacker, but you know, the attacker showed really good skills, really good close control, and I don't fully blame Izzul there. It was more of a good play by the attacker.
We're used to waxing lyrical about the virtues of the Vietnamese goalkeeper, the Traitor Kid, but he hardly had anything to do in that game. Malaysia, plenty of possession, but they couldn't make it happen in the final third.
Yeah, plenty of possession for Malaysia, especially in the second half. They tried a bit harder, but here we see the cool guy placing it oh so coolly into the corner. One thing I like to say is, we saw Jimmy first taking the penalty. He passed it to Giao Din.
Yeah.
Giao Din passed it to the cool guy. I think they all trust the cool guy, and he showed exactly why a fantastic cool penalty from the cool guy.
Well, that's the story of the game. Vietnam with those 3 points. As I come to you, Iman, over there in KL. I think probably a draw would have been a fair result, but you can't have too many complaints. When the goalkeeper makes a challenge like that, the FIFA referee is almost always going to point to the spot.
Yeah, like what Nitin said, it is very, very tricky because the attacker has got very good skills. But I still think that it could just leave to the defenders at first. But the attacker who was tackled just now, he was closing in on goal. So I think it's a 50-50 thing for the goalkeeper, and he chose to commit. And he committed a challenge which didn't really get the ball first. He got the attacker first, so that was actually very, very smart from the attacker himself.
Yeah, that's an interesting point Iman makes. A good forward play as much as anything else. I think the main thing is you're both in agreement. The two brightest minds in FIFA esports in agreement that it was a stonewall penalty. What can they do different in the second match, Nitty? We know the changes are coming. Iman will talk the people through them at home in a minute. But they've got to be improved from these changes, you fancy. And we have seen teams win away having lost at home already in this competition.
Yeah, but I think the changes, they're changing. I know for a fact they're changing from a 4-3-3 to a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So playing 2 strikers up front will give them a lot of attacking threat, especially with, I like Eldrock who's coming in. Eldrock's a really good striker. Okay. So if they create chances, Malaysia will score in this away tie.
Keep the comments coming. Like, share, follow, comment on the One Play Sports Facebook page. Shout outs to Is Atari, Ezra Irfan Farhan, Abdul Muiz. Lots of you coming in. Kaziflan is here. Jacob Yong. We got Frank Lucas, big friend of the show. Jacob A. Yong is with us. Lots of you joining in the fun and games. And Shami Tiang says, KSI played left back last game. Is the change in position a tactical decision or due to injury? I might get the thoughts of Iman on that in a little while. Lots of you having fun of the game. Scanner Cino's with us, and Sao Paulo Good to have you with us, Sao Paulo. Don't forget, by the way, folks, plant your national flag on the comment section so we know where you're watching from. We've had people from all over the world. We're trying to get as many countries as possible with the flags on the comment section. We'll be back in a couple of moments with more from Iman, more from the Notorious, and hopefully more fun for you to enjoy as the One Play Sports C Nations Cup continues. We're beginning crossing live to the Mai Dinh Stadium for Vietnam against Malaysia very shortly. Stay with us.
Coming up on One Play Classic this week.
Welcome back live into the One Play Sports eSports Spectrum, the godfather of gaming, the doctor of style, the Notorious,
Wow.
the man that put the E into eSports, all-round good egg, and of course, a master of sign language. Give me some sign language, Nitin, to describe
What do you want me to say?
The situation Malaysia are in now. Oh, a rub of the brow from Nitin. He thinks Malaysia are in a bit of bother. Hilmi, by the way, Hilmi, our cameraman, has just gone like that.
Hey,
he
I
doesn't
mean,
think
relax,
Malaysia
bro,
can
hey.
win. Hilmi over there. Ivan, what say you? Can the Malaysians turn it round? Talk us through these team changes that are on the way, and do you personally think they'll improve the Malaysians?
Ya, seperti yang kita saksikan dalam perlawanan sebelum ini menentang Thailand, di mana second team ini ataupun pasukan kedua ini sudah pastinya akan menjanjikan saingan yang lebih agresif. Mereka suka untuk melakukan high pressing, tidak membenarkan pemain lawan untuk bernafas langsung sebenarnya dengan bola. Jadi saya kira perubahan ini sangat-sangat perlu dan Malaysia mempunyai kualiti yang secukupnya dalam pasukan kedua ini untuk mendapatkan 3 mata penuh.
Nitin,
Yep.
your prediction for this second match?
I said Vietnam would win the home game and Malaysia would win the away game. Looking at the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow that Malaysia is going to deploy in the second game, I do believe that they'll have lots of attacking threat. But I somehow like to change my prediction. I do believe Vietnam is going to get all 6 points here. I think they've been very impressive in that first leg. Nothing against Malaysia. I just think Vietnam are looking very strong at the moment.
Hold the back page of the Straits Times and the Malay Mail. Nitin now thinks the Vietnamese, you've seen enough from them, they're just so strong. And as we had in the Facebook comment section, it's something we're used to seeing from the Vietnamese national team. They get strong at the back and build forward, and that's what we saw there. Malaysia have got to find a way, never mind past Traitor Kid, past that back four with Matt Kaleli anchoring in the midfield. They just look so strong.
Yes, the Vietnamese will be playing the same side, so we'll be seeing very similar traits as we saw to that first game. But with Malaysia, they're coming out with a brand new team. I think Achilles is coming in midfield to make that four-man midfield. El Rock and Arif D are coming up out front. So these guys have a lot to prove, and these guys will get the opportunity to show that they deserve to be in the A team.
Shout out to another big name in the world of esports. Abdul Muiz Mohammed Ghazali is with us, and he says he's your number one fan. Is that right? Is Muiz your number one fan, Iman?
Well, he's actually my teacher in esports in shoutcasting back in 2015. So yeah,
Okay, so
I'm his number one fan too.
is he your Mr. Miyagi to your Karate Kid? Is that how it works? Something like that.
I should say that, yeah.
Okay, got
Although
you.
he's a Singaporean, by the way.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We're all friends here together. We're all in this COVID-19 situation together. Choji, a regular contributor to the show, says, I see Vietnam getting another 3 points. Great minds think alike, Choji. Nitin's on the same page as you.
Choji.
Let me check with Game Control. Yusuf, tournament director from VPG Virtual Pro Gaming. They're still searching for a game. And of course, that means I can come back to you, Ivan, and ask you about the impact it could have on Malaysia if they lose the second game tonight, because that would leave them with only 3 points from first 4 matches and put them under real pressure from those last 2 clashes to come.
They're going to be fourth, aren't they? I think what this brings is that they will have to depend on the results of Thailand against Vietnam. They'll have to depend that the results go their way, and they need to win 2 games against Brunei as well. So it is, as much as I don't like depending on other teams' results, but it is going to be if Malaysia loses. So you got to take it to your own hands. You got to win the second game, surely.
Oh, and I tell you what, we've had this in the real football world as well. The thought in those final group games of teams colluding to knock another team out. I mean, it does happen.
It has happened.
It has happened, and I'm sure it happens in the FIFA sphere. Listen, Ayman, I'll let you go. Get ready for the match. You can see the final loading screen is up. So, Ayman, we'll say goodbye to you now. Catch you on commentary in a couple of seconds. Nitin, you keep your eagle eye on all the action, and we'll look forward to you rejoining us at full time. In the second game, as we cross live to Vietnam and the Malaysian Stadium for Vietnam against Malaysia. Can the Vietnamese get another 3 points against the Malaysian team who huffed and puffed but couldn't find a way past the traitor kid in the first game at the Bukit Jalil? And the Malaysian looking resplendent. And Ayman, give me your initial thoughts straight after kick-off as to the formation changes and the personnel changes as Malaysia play in the blue and white right to left, Vietnam in the familiar red from left to right. Anything you notice straight away, Ayman? I do notice one of the Vietnamese players, at least one, maybe two, it's bots there. So maybe connection problems for Vietnam.
Ya, dan mereka tidak memilih untuk menukar ataupun untuk keluar dari permainan terlebih dahulu. Jadi mereka confident sebenarnya dengan peluang mereka, tapi Malaysia perlu untuk mengambil kesempatan. 11 manusia menentang 9 ataupun 10 manusia dengan satu bot. Tapi dengan pertukaran pemain dan juga formasi sudah pastinya akan mengubah corak permainan Malaysia 180 darjah.
Makaleli, brilliant insight and analysis from Ayman as ever. Down this right-hand side with Makaleli, A on C stands firm, and look at that from Bucky, ex-Bucky, with marvellous work. And here come Malaysia. Gio Dino, so strong in the middle. They've really got to try and find a way past that incredibly defensively disciplined Vietnamese team. They just look so organised, Vietnam. And again, as we'll just let this passage of play come through before I come back to you, Ayman. Again, Ayman, I think surely it's got to be an advantage for Vietnam, even though they are playing with a bot there, that they're not making as many changes as the Malaysians. They're very settled, aren't they? We've seen similar lineups in both these games to the first 2 matches they played against Brunei.
Ya, teamwork itulah kunci sebenarnya. Oh,
my word, out of nowhere, they've taken the lead just as we were writing. Their obituary is the man that Nitin told you could have an impact. El Rock with a stunning left foot strike. Ayman, you must be loving that. The Batman, El Rock scores.
ya, satu gerakan yang cukup menarik antara hantaran pendek yang sampai ke kaki-kaki pemain, dan El Rock, a man of the moment, dengan rembatan kaki kiri ke bahagian near post, tertewas penjaga gol itu. 1-0 untuk Malaysia. Ini mungkin masanya.
My Bahasa is a little bit scratchy, but I think that's Bahasa for Ayman's very happy with that goal. He sounds so pleased, and so he should be. Malaysians cheering that on in the Facebook comment section, and boy did the Malaysians need that, and the traitor kid is beaten. That's not something we've said very often, and of course at the moment, Ayman, it looks like the Malaysians are going to repeat what they did against Thailand. It's very early on in this game, of course, with 1 win and 1 loss.
Ya, sama saja ceritanya mungkin.
Sorry, Ayman.
Tapi Malaysia itulah apa yang mereka selalu lakukan.
Yeah, incidentally, the games left for Malaysia, both against Brunei. The games left for Vietnam, both against Thailand. And interestingly enough, the Thailand-Vietnam game happens before Malaysia and Brunei. The Thailand-Vietnam matches are on Friday the 29th of May. Malaysia and Brunei on the 31st of May, so they will know by then, Malaysia, exactly what they've got to do if they can still qualify going into the last 2 games. And if they hang on to this result, that will definitely be the case. Oh, that was a strong challenge from Rivox. They've definitely upped the intensity and upped the passion in this second game, Malaysia. Don't you agree, Ayman?
Ya, seperti yang saya katakan tadi, perubahan sudah semestinya, perubahan 180 darjah, kerana pemain-pemain juga mempunyai mentaliti yang berbeza. Cara mereka bermain dalam permainan pro club sini dengan formasi yang berbeza, 2 pemain serangan, 2 striker, dan sudah pasti memberikan lebih banyak lagi untuk dipikirkan oleh barisan pertahanan Vietnam. Oleh sebab itulah mengapa Malaysia sekarang ini sedang mendominasi di 25 minit awal.
Still feel though Malaysia need a second goal here. We've seen the Vietnamese both in pro club football and international football score goals out of nowhere, so a 2-goal cushion would be very welcome, not only for this game, for the goal difference as well. A sensational strike for Malaysia. And it's Afif, I think. Yeah, great goal. And that's the buffer they need. Ivan, you must be much more comfortable now that Afif has made it 2.
Ya, Afif D, striker kegemaran saya dalam Pro Clubs. Ini merupakan apa yang Afif D suka lakukan dengan rembatan padu di sana. Tidak mampu untuk dilakukan apa-apa oleh Traitor Kid. Berilah 2 penjaga gol sekalipun. Tiada siapa yang dapat untuk menyelamatkan bola tersebut.
Cross comes in, headed away well, but Vietnam, well, it's almost a complete role reversal. If anything, Malaysia are more impressive here than Vietnam were in the first game at Bukit Jalil. Shout out to Irfan Alakon. Shout out to Afif Faroud. Shout out to Zalzuri Azahari. Is Atari still with us as well? Keep the comments coming. Abdul Muiz Mohammed saying, let's go the Tigers. The Tigers are going for you, Muiz. After a great save from, can we confirm who's playing in goal? For
AB1TG.
Yeah, it's a change in goal as well as we suspected it would be. Abi's in goal now, isn't he, for Malaysia? Izzul jettisoned after conceding that penalty in the first game. But it's a different kettle of fish when you're leading 2-0. I know it sounds like a silly thing to say, but it's put Vietnam under so much pressure, and Malaysia might be able to exploit the gaps now as Vietnam really have to try and chase the game, Iman.
Ya, Vietnam sudah semestinya tidak ingin untuk dibolosi lebih banyak. Sudah semestinya mereka ingin kembali dalam permainan tapi meninggalkan banyak ruang sebenarnya. Peluang untuk Vietnam sebenarnya. Dikeluarkan di oleh Malaysia tapi Malaysia nampak seperti mendominasi sekarang ini.
Yeah, Gio Dim with a nice little dig into the area there, but the Malaysians get it clear. They look far more solid in defence with those changes. And here was me thinking it might be to Vietnam's advantage that they were playing the same team and are more settled. How much of an impact do you think it's having that one of the players has dropped off? I'm going to ask Youssef actually to try and get me confirmation of which Vietnamese player has dropped off, if you can, Tournament Director Youssef. Just waiting for confirmation on that because he's definitely having an impact. I'm looking at the team sheet. It might be Heisenberg. I haven't seen much of Heisenberg in this second game, and if it is Heisenberg, that might be one of the reasons why they're struggling in midfield. Youssef, do we have confirmation? Yeah, no news so far as Elrock comes through. Everything going Malaysia's way at the moment. Vietnamese having a connection issue with, I think, Heisenberg. I'll wait for confirmation. Heisenberg, I'm being told, is still there, but it's certainly that... Is it the CDM? Is Mad Kalani not there? They're certainly missing somebody. Yusuf will endeavour to find out. Rayovox has played that out, and Vietnam will be able to regroup with just a couple of virtual minutes to go to half-time. Couldn't have gone any better this first half for Malaysia, could it? Save getting a third goal, Ayman.
Ya, peluang sebenarnya, peluang cukup besar. Lebih-lebih lagi apabila Vietnam kehilangan seorang pemain di bahagian tengah. Dan Malaysia mendominasi bahagian tersebut. Oleh sebab itulah mereka boleh untuk bermain dengan cara yang mereka mahukan sebenarnya.
That's a free kick. The ex-Bucky is over. Now, are they going to try and buy a ticket to the raffle here and score right before half-time? Because it's game over if they go 3 down, Vietnam. I can tell you that for free. Vietnam with the luxury of the 3 points won in a hard-fought 1-0 win at Bukit Jalil moments ago. But they're up against it here at the Mai Din. It looks like Heisenberger, as you can see, there is on the pitch, is going to get it away. I'm just trying to figure out who that bot is. It might be Tomcat, you know. It's certainly one of that midfield quartet who've been so influential, certainly in the first game tonight. Here's ex-Bucky. Where on earth is the referee finding this added time from? Finally, he blows the whistle for half-time, Ayman, but Malaysia in control here. Can you see any way they can throw these 3 points away in the second virtual 45 minutes?
Jika ada disconnection mungkin, jika ada pemain yang secara tiba-tiba kehilangan connection. Tapi dalam separuh masa pertama ni kita nampak Malaysia dari awal sehingga akhir memberikan tekanan kepada pemain-pemain Vietnam. Tidak membenarkan mereka untuk memegang bola lebih dari 3 saat sebenarnya.
And those stats, well, I know Nitin, who's rejoined me here in the commentary position for a bit of half-time analysis. Nitin, I know you're not a fan of the possessional stats, but the shot stats certainly tell the story there. Malaysia, whatever they did to mix things up, you mentioned that change of formation could be key. They found a way to create chances against that Vietnamese defence there.
Yep, a fantastic response by the Malaysians so far. The 4-1-2-1-2 narrow has played perfectly against the 4-3-3 that Vietnam are playing. They have dominance in midfield. They're creating chance after chance. And El Rock and Afif D up front have made the difference for the Malaysians. A fantastic start and a great response from a loss.
Many thanks, Nitin Nambiar. We'll be back at full time for his post-show analysis. And at the moment, we'll be analysing another night where Malaysia have won one and lost one. And I tell you something, Group A is going to be tighter than a snare drum. With just 2 match nights left, one for Vietnam and Thailand and one with Malaysia and Brunei. And of course, if it stays like this, I think you can be assured that if Malaysia win those 2 games, both those 2 games, they will almost certainly go through. We'll do the maths of that a little later on. Here's Rivox. Can they get a third and really end this game now? I still think at 2-0, if Vietnam can get a goal early in this second half, they can still cause a shock. What say you, Iman, over there in Kuala Lumpur?
Dari Vietnam sudah pastinya akan melakukan apa yang termampu untuk mendapatkan sekurang-kurangnya 1 mata berharga untuk mereka. Dan Malaysia bertahan dengan cukup-cukup baik untuk memastikan kelebihan 2 gol itu tidak dibuang begitu sahaja.
Yeah, that was a lovely touch from Doi there, who almost fashioned a chance for Vietnam. I think in fairness, they look like up front, particularly in this second game, they're missing the influence of Kun Pi. If you're just joining us, Simon, Kun Pi, the Vietnamese star striker, connection issues for him tonight. He's not on the field. Down this left-hand side, they come again. Vietnam into the corner flag. The cool guy, scorer of the penalty that was the only goal in the first game tonight. The cool guy gets it back. Lovely touch, the cool guy. But in the end, maybe one trick too many as ex-Bucky gets it away. In terms of what's happening in the danger areas, it is a role reversal this time, isn't it? Malaysia couldn't create any chances. They could be in again here. That's a solid clearance from Kakashi. It's the Vietnamese that can't test the Malaysian goalkeeper this time. Iman.
Pemain-pemain tengah, itulah saya boleh katakan mereka merupakan pemain-pemain yang cukup penting dan Vietnam kehilangan seorang pemain midfield yang menjadi bot. Itulah sebabnya mereka tidak boleh untuk mendapatkan bola langsung dari awal permainan hingga sekarang ini hampir memasuki 1 jam virtual.
Now, I wonder at what point in the game the Malaysians are going to start keeping an eye on the clock, because in games this type, at this top level of esports competition, is it possible to score 2 goals when there's only 5 virtual minutes left on the clock? As it is, we're into the final half hour, which equates to about, 4 minutes of game time, and no sign that Vietnam can get back into this game yet, Iman, but they are pressing now. Over on that far side, picked up by Makalele. And what a difference Abby's made in goal. It looks like Abby is staking a claim to not share the goalkeeping spot with Izzle from now on in, Iman.
Ya, beliau merupakan penjaga gol yang lebih tenang. Saya merasakan dalam party chat itu sudah pastinya beliau memanggil pertahanan-pertahanannya untuk bergerak, untuk menutup segala ruang untuk melakukan hantaran lintang.
There's Abby to Rivox. Oh, lovely skills, Rivox. Oh, look at that for a pass to Afif, the scorer of the second goal that's given Malaysia the cushion. El Rock again, straight at the tray to get. He doesn't miss those out. But if anything, if you had to pick a team to score the next goal, I mean, you'd have to say Malaysia may be looking slightly more likely.
Ya, kerana mereka sudah pastinya mahukan lebih banyak gol. Seperti yang saya katakan dalam perlawanan pertama, goal difference merupakan antara faktor utama jika dalam kumpulan maut seperti ini, mata itu sama di antara 3 pasukan atau 2 pasukan yang ingin ke peringkat separuh akhir.
Yeah, that goal difference phrase that Iman keeps referring to could still be a factor. It's the top of the tiebreaker list, the goal difference, and Vietnam could level up the goal difference on the night if they can score from this, but the cross goes over. Yeah, just to tell you how the tie-breaking situation works, it's goal difference followed by goal scored, followed by the head-to-head, and then if they're matched up, it goes down to the disciplinary records. Onside here is the cool guy. Inside the final 18 virtual minutes we go, and they're not going to score like that. It's headed away quite comfortably by A-on-C. Here's Makalele. Haven't seen Tomcat. I'm pretty sure it's Tomcat that's missing. Makalele! Tipped over the bar. Abby TG is on top of everything for your boys tonight, Iman.
Ya, penjaga gol ini sudah pun mengetahui apakah yang Vietnam suka lakukan. Oleh sebab itulah mudah untuk dirinya menyelamatkan bola-bola yang datang dari Vietnam. Lebih-lebih lagi bola-bola tinggi yang hadir daripada pemain midfield dan juga pemain sayap mereka.
They're huffing and puffing Vietnam, but they can't get the goal. And of all people, I think that was Doi, was it, that took the heavy touch. They're badly missing Kumpi, I think. That might be the difference maker for them. And of course, even though they had the disaster of Bukit Jalil, you talk about goal difference, Simon. If they can hang on to win here by 2 goals or more, technically they've had a better night than Vietnam in terms of that goal difference, which it could come down to.
Ya, kerana Malaysia akan mendapatkan goal difference +1 dan Vietnam 0. setelah mereka mulakan malam ini dengan goal difference +1 dan tewas 2-0 dan menjadikan mereka 0 goal difference dalam table kita.
Yeah, we will show you that updated table. Our main man Vic working on it as we speak. He won't want him to be putting anything in the columns yet though, because there could still be some late drama here. You're watching live One Play Sports C Nations Cup action. Nitin Nambiar alongside myself in the studio here in Singapore. We've got Ayman Roshizam for us in our studios in Kuala Lumpur. We were very fortunate to have the wonderful Michelle Lee, the first ever female to present an English Premier League game, singing the national anthem of Malaysia, Negaraku, for us earlier on, and she seemed to have spurred the Malaysians on to a much better performance here in my din. Mad Kalele straight at Abby 1. And it looks like the points...
Positioning...
Go on, you go on. I was just about to say, it looks like the points now are definitely Malaysians.
Ya, sudah pastinya. Lebih-lebih lagi penjaga gol AB1 TG dengan positioning yang cukup baik, mengetahui di manakah Makelele ingin melakukan rembatan sebentar tadi.
Well, you wouldn't exactly say it's been an enjoyable evening for Malaysia, bearing in mind they lost at the Bukit Jalil Stadium earlier on, but they have at least salvaged some pride. Can they keep the clean sheet? The cool guy, nice pass, Gio Din. Is there a chance of a Makelele? Body's in the way, but they've got one back. Doi's got one back in the final throws. Are we going to have late drama here, Ivan? How nervous are you now that the Vietnamese can steal a point from nowhere?
Malaysia perlu untuk bertahan nampaknya. Jimmy Doi dan Doi Mejim yang juga merupakan antara pemain utama pasukan Vietnam dalam perlawanan pertama mereka menunjukkan taringnya, walaupun ia datang dari rebound, tapi Malaysia perlu untuk mendapatkan semula kelebihan 2 gol itu ataupun perlu untuk bertahan.
Oh, ball game! They've answered straight back, and it's that man Nitin told you to watch out for, El Rock. They've re-established a 2-goal lead, and just after Vietnam threatened to make it interesting, Ivan, it is now game over.
Ya, seperti yang saya katakan tadi, antara dapat 2 gol ataupun bertahan. Tetapi mereka memilih untuk menggunakan kick-off boost untuk mendapatkan semula kelebihan 2 gol. Dan seperti yang anda katakan tadi, Malaysia mendapatkan result yang lebih baik daripada Vietnam dalam perlawanan ini.
Well, that was sensational stuff. Ayman will rejoin us in the studio for the post-match show. Nitin Nambiar also making his way back to us. Malaysia, after the disappointment of a very lacklustre performance at the Bukit Jalil, have answered in some uncertain style, no uncertain style at all, when they went to the Maidin, a 3-1 win. And Nitin Nambiar is back alongside me. Nitin, talk us through the highlights, because Malaysia, they needed to respond, and boy did they respond after that disappointment earlier tonight.
Yep, the B team, the second team for Malaysia, really...
But would you say on paper they were the B team?
I guess so. I guess they've got two sides with different formations, players that are comfortable with playing with different formations, and as we can see here, the two strikers, El Rock and Afif D, whenever they were given chances, they took shots at goal, and two of them, we saw El Rock with the left foot finish into the top left corner, a fantastic finish. Afif D here with the narrow angle, trying to find the far corner, and he did that perfectly. So the two strikers deserve lots of credit, but I have to say the four men in midfield were absolutely amazing and gave Vietnam no time on the ball whatsoever.
Well, there was one point, wasn't there, with a couple of minutes to go, you thought Vietnam might somehow steal a point, because, you know, the drama we've seen in these games, but the trouble, as soon as they scored, they couldn't get possession, and Malaysia went right up the other end, and it was another goal from that man that you said, El Rock, would have a huge influence in the second match, Nitin.
Yeah, El Rock and me are friends on Facebook. Every time I look to his page, this guy's scoring hat-trick, he's scoring 2 goals, he's scoring 3 goals. He's a natural-born goal scorer, as he showed there. 2 fantastic finishes to give Malaysia a very valuable 3 points here.
A shout out to Ultras Pro Esports, by the way, big friends of the show, and they have told me, as I was trying to search for, AB1 stands for Alison Becker 1. And a shout out to Alison Becker 1, because that was a good goalkeeping performance by the Malaysians. Couldn't get the clean sheet, but he did everything correctly, and you have to say, on the balance of the 2 goalkeeping performances by Malaysia, and that penalty is ill conceded, you'd have to say he's now Malaysia's number 1, just like the traitor kid is Vietnam's number 1.
Yeah, perhaps, but not just the goalkeeper. I think all 11 players for Malaysia in that game really deserve lots of credit. They came in under pressure, having lost that first game. These guys soaked the pressure in. They said, you know what, we can do this for our country, and they all performed. So fair play and lots of credit.
Back live to Ayman in our studio in Kuala Lumpur. Ayman, your final thoughts on what was a big night in the end for Malaysia? Because as I said, technically, with the 2-goal margin of victory, they've won the night, even though it's ended 3 points apiece. Their goal difference just that little bit better than Vietnam's tonight.
Yeah, I should say that Malaysia just edged it. I think they will be above the Vietnamese after this night because of the goal difference. But well played by the Malaysian, especially the B team. But not discounting the first team, because I believe that in the next game, although they will really need the result of Thailand versus Vietnam to go in their favour, but I believe that Malaysia can go through, because going up against Brunei, they were really going hammer and tongs right from the off till the end to get those 6.
Yeah, and of course, I mentioned that in commentary. We'll confirm it in a minute. The advantage they have as well is they'll know what they need to do against Brunei, because that game is a couple of days after Thailand take on Vietnam. Listen, Ayman, we'll let you go. You've been an absolute superstar. Many thanks, and we look forward to having you back very, very soon indeed. Ayman Rashizam, I'm Eamon KL. See you, Ayman. Let's remind you as well, cheers, Ayman, to like, share, follow, comment on the Facebook page. So many of you tonight. It's been huge numbers. I can't mention everyone, but let me get a couple more names out, as I promised I would. Lebo is with us. We've got Jess Alparak, who's a top fan of the page. William Hang says, good play, Malaysia, Bole. So many of you, Shakran is there, saying let's have a party now, Malaysia have won. Zarizal is with us. Lots of you, Scan Azu, too many. I'll go through them all, and I know Nitin does personally have a look at all the comments after the broadcast. I don't think your comments aren't being read, but when it's this busy and this hectic, we can't get through all of them. Updated table time for you. Let's see how Group A looks tonight, with all teams now having played 4 matches. And you can see Malaysia, crucially, by virtue of that late goal from El Rock, have a slight edge over Vietnam on goal difference. And Nitin, as we said right from the start, it seems inevitable that this is going to go right down to the very last second of that final match in this group, which is on the 31st of May, that sees Malaysia play Brunei a couple of days after Thailand take on Vietnam. It's going to be too close to call.
Yeah, I've got my wishes. I wanted Group A to be tight. I wanted Group A to go into the final round of fixtures, and that's exactly what we've got. So do stay tuned for those matches coming up. It's going to be huge, and lots of pressure on those sides, but we'll see who comes out first and second.
Yeah, that's date for the diary time. Remember, 29th is Thailand, Vietnam. 31st is Malaysia, Brunei, and we'll see who qualifies from Group A. Right, a quick reminder to tell you what's coming up here on the One Play Sports Network in terms of our ever-increasing esports portfolio. Don't forget, by the way, to like the One Play Sports esports page. On the next game is on Tuesday, isn't it? We have the Causeway clash between Maximus and Tiki Taka. Can't wait for that one. You love a Causeway clash, Nitin, don't you? Who are you picking in that game?
I love a Causeway clash. I am picking Tiki Taka. I think Maximus are known for being very strong defensively and taking their chances when they come, but Tiki Taka play a more free-flowing football. This is not me picking the Singaporean side, it's me picking the side who I feel play the more attractive football.
You're wearing your professional hat when you give that analysis.
Today, when I wear a jacket, I'm not biased.
That's good to know. And then next up in the One Play Sports C Nations Cup, we turn our attention back to Group B. The battle of the two boys. Is this going to be the battle of the wooden spoonist, or can one of them pick up 6 points that can still yet turn that table on its head? Singapore and Indonesia, the other two nations in that group. And incidentally, a programming note that after that game in the One Play Sports C Nations Cup on Wednesday, there'll be a week's break to let everyone celebrate Hari Raya, and Ramadan Mubarak to all of our Muslim brothers out there. And like everyone, whatever faith, whatever religion, whatever nationality you are, we do hope you are staying safe during this COVID-19 time. As always, you can check back with the One Play Sports Facebook page to find out all the latest goings on. There's highlights, so much great sporting content, including our great strand of programming with our dear friends at Sports Singapore. You won't miss a trick if you make a daily visit to One Play Sports. From Nitin, myself, and of course, Ayman over there in KL, enjoy what's left of your Sunday. There's nothing left because it's now 5 past midnight. Happy Monday, people. We'll see you on Tuesday night for the Causeway Clash in the One Play Pro Club Challenge. But for now, congratulations to Vietnam and Malaysia. 3 points apiece tonight.